That's live streaming, Chair. You're good to go.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this meeting of Woodley Town Council's Planning and Community Committee meeting being held today on the 31st of March 2026. Woodley Town Council meetings are now recorded, with recording streamed live and stored on the Town Council's YouTube channel. By virtue of attending the meeting, you consent to having your image and audio recorded for this purpose. If you do not wish for your image and audio to be recorded, then please do not stay for the meeting. For those in attendance, we're not expecting a fire drill tonight, so if you hear the fire alarm, please head to the nearest fire exit and congregate at the fire assembly point by the Oakwood Centre at the front of Woodford Park. Thank you. Right. Item 1 on the agenda, apologies. Do we have any apologies?
Yes, we have apologies from Councillors Horskins, Lewis and Singh. Councillor Horskins is attending the meeting virtually.
Thank you very much. Do we have any declarations of interest?
Yes, last but one application 260638 is 20 Farriers Close, but I'm declaring it because it is in the same street as myself, although it is quite some distance
Okay.
away.
Yeah. Do you personally know the people involved, or
No,
no? Is there a need to?
newcomers to the estate.
Being in the street, it might be recommended that just take no part in the consideration of that particular application to avoid any chance of any challenge.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Right. No other declarations, though. Right. Minutes of the Planning and Community meeting held on the 3rd of March 2026 on page 5 of the agenda. Are you happy that they're a true record of that meeting, and can I sign them as such? Yep. Thank you. Right, actions and follow-ups, page 11 on the agenda. This is to follow-ups on previous meetings of the committee. I don't know whether there's anything that we need to add to it. I don't know if you've got anything, Matthew, that needs to be...
I don't think there's anything more to update on there other than that a lot of them are kind of just awaiting.
Waiting.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Right. Item 5, current planning applications, starting on page 13. And we will take these slightly out of order, and that is that the last one on the list will become the first, because we have a gentleman who has an interest in that particular application with us, and to save you sitting through the whole evening, we'll take it first for your benefit. All right. Okay, this is application 260643, 78 Crockenwell Road, householder application for the proposed erection of two-storey chalet-style rear end extension and side dormer and roof lights with additional roof light to the front elevation. Does anybody have any comments on this one? I've had a look, but anything at all?
No, I didn't. I don't see anything. I'd like to hear from Lee.
Yeah. Okay. Would you like to? Do you want to make a comment on this now? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I live next door, number 80.
Right.
So, the only two concerns that I've got is that the proposal to put an extra window in from a bathroom on the second floor, which will look directly into the window that we've got. So I'll make the comment on the website.
Yes.
If I come to the meeting to explain things to yourselves. But there's a window in it, I understand that no objections to the window, but I think it should be a frosted window so that it can't be viewed into the bedroom in front of our bedroom.
Right. Yeah. So really, if it's obscured glass, you would be quite happy with the way things are.
Yes, providing it's, I don't want on the outside looking directly.
No, understandable. Okay, any comments from anybody at all? No? We're all quite happy with that one. We will make a note of that as a recommendation, and your concerns will be noted. Okay, but in the meantime, if you want to add that to the website that goes to the borough, then that would be the ideal thing to do. Okay.
And the only other thing is that the sewage system is that from that property goes into our property and then out. And so they're going to have to put a roof on the top of that. So, and I don't know what that implication is
Right.
in terms of the effect on me, because that sewage pipe goes into the power property. So I just wanted to be sure that isn't going to be a problem. We've had problems with sewage coming into the garden already, so I don't want that to
Okay.
that worked. I spoken to our neighbour, and explained that to him, and he said, yeah, he's aware of that. Take that into consideration, but I think I've just put it down again on my copy.
Yeah, it's not a planning issue, unfortunately, drainage, it's a building control. And it's up to the building inspector to make sure that that it's going to work sufficiently well. So we can't make a comment on that because it's not a planning issue, it's a building control. But I would suggest that you liaise with your neighbour and perhaps anybody from building control when the time comes and make sure that's what looked at.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. You're welcome to stay, but you're also welcome to go out and enjoy the evening. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Thank you. And for bringing it forward.
That's it.
Yes?
Right. Okay, we'll go back into the order of the agenda now. That's starting with application 260177. Yeah, I've seen this one. We've had a correspondence from Mary Holmes, and I'll read the correspondence that she's sent. I don't think this semi-detached building should in fact finally be like a pair of semi-detached houses. As a result of having an upper floor, the road will no longer be the much needed road of a bungalow. Or road of bungalows, I should say. In any event, I think the final height should not exceed those next door to it. Are there enough that's item 2, are there enough car parking spaces to the front now that there is a loss of an existing garage? And I think those are comments that we made on the first application. And looking at this, we brought up these objections, reasons to make the recommendations we did. I didn't see anything that alters. No. As far as I can see. Yes, Carol.
Yes, I pestered, I think that's a polite word for it, the officer for this application, because I felt, as Mary was saying, and it was why I absented myself from the meeting last time, having reduced the height by nearly a metre, I think that's the best we're going to get, reluctantly. I think if it was refused, went to appeal, I think we probably wouldn't get anywhere, which isn't a reason to not to refuse it. But I think it's, could set a precedent, but I just don't think there's any chance of getting it refused. So I've actually stepped back from this one.
Okay. The only thing is that we made the comments last time, and the comments that we made still seem relevant this time. And for us to change our views, I think it's perhaps up to the planning officers or the committee of Wokingham to make that decision. But to me, I don't know how you feel, but it just seems.
Yes, I think nothing's changed.
It is a street purposely built of bungalows, and to put a semi-detached property with 2 stories in it, I couldn't give a damn how high it is.
No.
But it's totally out of keeping.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, looking on the plans, it would appear there are 2 parking spaces for each of the semi-detached property. But if you notice, most of the residents there have front gardens, and it looks quite an attractive lane as you go down there. But to put those parking spaces in, they're going to have to strip their front garden away and put some form of covering, hard base down.
Councillor Orski has his hand up, Chair.
Sorry?
Robert Henson.
Yes, Robert.
Hi, thanks, Bill. I don't know whether it's a typo on here, but it says a 0.9 metre decrease from the height originally approved. It wasn't approved, was it?
No. I don't know.
No, and I think we should. I think we should go against this, like we did, like you said at the previous meeting, and as David's just said, and I know Carol said it might go through at a appeal if Wokingham turned it down. However, I think if it did get through, it would set a precedent, and you could end up with all those bungalows taking on the same, all being knocked down and being rebuilt as houses, and I think it would just completely ruin the appeal of Foster's Lane. And I think we really must fight this for the residents that are currently there. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. I think also when we looked at the car park last time, to actually park two cars alongside each other would be almost impossible to get in and out your cars, wasn't it? It was very narrow.
Tight.
If you divide that whole area up for 4 cars, it didn't quite work. So I think, perhaps I'm not really, I'm not leaning, but I just think that the comments that we made last time are still valid, and it would seem odd to change them now. So we'll leave it up to the borough, but our recommendations or our observations should remain the same. Yeah. Thank you. Right, 260423, Bournemouth School. This is for the proposed erection of a number 1 detached single-storey building to form a new SEND unit with associated landscaping. Well, I had a look at it and it didn't seem to be any great problem. I don't think it was taking away any land. It wasn't encroaching on anybody's, they weren't overlooked. It didn't seem a problem.
The schools are in desperate need
of new SEND.
Extra SEND units.
Yeah.
No objection.
Is everybody happy with that? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. 260433, 90 Herne Road, householder application for the proposed 2-storey side extension. Yeah, I think. Any comments at all? Anybody's got any comments on this one?
I thought large is a
There's
large,
plenty of room for that.
Yeah.
large corner plot.
Yeah.
Plenty of room.
Yeah. Okay. And then
Whether it's their land or not, it's a different matter.
260484, 115 Western Avenue. And that is for household application, proposed erection of a single-storey side to rear wraparound extension, 2-storey front extension forming additional porch space, demolition of the conservatory and chimney, and changes to fenestration. Again, it didn't seem to cause too much of a problem to neighbouring properties, because this one is set back. Is that the one that's set back? I can't remember. Yeah. Drawing there, but
It's a very unusual design,
yeah.
but it doesn't look out of place.
No. But sorry, it was 117 that's sort of it has to have access down the side, doesn't it? 115, that's an access area. Yeah. But it doesn't impinge on that, involve it at all, does it? So it's not.
It's still not inside the plot.
Yeah. Everybody happy with that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And 260492, 2 Victor Way. Well, do you want me to read it all out, or have you all read it? You've all read it.
No is the answer.
Sorry?
I'm saying no is the answer.
No. Right. Yeah, comments then on that one. So it's quite a. I've just put a query against it. I don't know why I did that when I was reading it. Carol, what's your?
Well, anything that changes amenity land to residential to me is a no.
Yeah.
So I think we put those, that condition was put on there for a reason. I think we should keep it there.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm
Everybody.
very much
Conditions.
of the same mind about amenity land.
I was very much of the same opinion.
Sorry?
I was very much of the same opinion.
Yeah. Okay, and that's a good enough valid reason to make that observation, yeah. Okay, 260503, 6 Bradford Close, household application, proposed erection of 2-storey side extension, lowering to an adjoining flat roof, partial single-storey rear extension with changes to fenestration. Actually, sorry, yeah, it's a rather, it's a slope of the land, isn't it? Yeah, I don't, let me see, what was that one?
It's a
Retford.
neighbour comment, didn't it?
We had an objection from a neighbour, number
No,
7,
no.
regarding the garden wall. He was, I mean, I didn't see, when was it? No alterations for.
The wall changes
Changes,
ever so
yes.
slightly in terms of its position. It pushes much closer to the boundary.
Yeah, but in the actual application, there's no mention of that, is there, as such, in the alteration to the garden wall? I couldn't see it when I read the application. I don't know.
I mean, it's mentioned there, but I
There,
don't know if it's in
yeah,
the exact.
but
Yeah, it's not in the detail.
No. But no objections to the building as such, as far as I can see, but certainly, so how do we feel about that one?
I've certainly got no objections.
No, everybody's
About
okay.
other people.
Right, that's fine.
No, the provided, yeah.
No. 260535, 15 Norwich Drive. Where are we? Victor, Retford. Let me get this one. Household application proposed erection of a 2-storey side extension.
We've got plenty of room for this one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's own property.
No objection to the building. I just put vehicle access and parking. I've got a comment. Was there a problem? I can't remember now when I looked at it. Yeah, this is one that's, where do you get your access to the whole thing? Down that passageway there, do you, or that piece?
Yeah, they have
That's-
parking bays.
Right, okay, yeah. Right, so no objections to that one, no?
No.
Okay, and 260537, 115 Headley Road. And this is household application proposed raising of the roof to create habitable accommodation to include 1 number Juliet balcony insertion, 2 dormers and roof lights, single-storey front extension to form a porch, single-storey rear extension following the demolition of existing conservatory, and a part single side extension and changes to fenestration. We've had an objection from number 113 with concern about the Juliet balcony as much as anything, and I know you can't look into the future, but I think their concern was that the flat roof would become a patio. But then Juliet balconies don't normally have an opening, do they? So
They don't open.
no, so I
Go
don't.
to the wall.
Yeah.
I thought the objection, the way that he's written it, or she, and done the photographs to compare, done it with sort of computer graphics, is a very well thought out. The way he's done that would be the potential view when that's done.
Yes.
And I can totally see that his point. I think it's a very good way of pointing out that he's going to be quite overlooked. I just wonder whether it's an overdevelopment on that plot. That's his concerns, isn't it? Looking through from their window straight into his.
What's the distance between the properties there? No.
Fits in the plot,
Yeah.
but
It's not a huge amount of gap, but it's
No.
it's fairly standard down the road, isn't it?
Yeah.
Might be worth just noting those AI images might not necessarily be accurately representative.
yeah, it's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
Looking at them, it looks, I can see his point,
Yes, yeah.
but it does fit in the plot.
Yes, it does. There we go.
I don't know how valid that
I
is.
think we should just voice our concerns about overlooking any effect on the neighbour and then leave it at that.
Okay. And is that one? Right, 260579, 63 Hazel Drive. This is going household application, proposed erection of a single story flat roof side extension to the existing end of terrace dwelling. I couldn't see anything, nothing at all on that one. Any problems? No, we're okay with that. Whizzing through these, isn't he?
You don't need to leave.
Silence is enough.
Yeah.
Leaving is
Yeah.
unnecessary, I'd say.
Right, and 260638, 20 Farriers Close, application to vary the condition 2 of the planning consent, 250720, for the proposed erection of a single story front and rear extension, plus conversion of the garage into habitable accommodation, changes to fenestration following the demolition of the existing conservatory. Condition 2 refers to the approved details and the variation is to update the plans.
I didn't comment that, I don't know if anybody else
I
did.
don't know
Well,
what that means, no.
It's just,
The plans have changed.
yeah,
Yes, I understood what he was, but I couldn't see how the plans had changed.
So this is the original, and you can see at the front, the storeroom distance is just over 2.5 metres and there's a porch.
yeah.
And actually, I think, yeah, and this is the current proposal. Let me just check that's right in terms of timing.
Easy.
So this is the current application. I just want to make sure I've got the right ones because so the proposal's changed. So the you'll see the storeroom has reduced in size. There's no porch that there is in there. And this living room that's kind of a full extension out the back there is pulled short. And there's a couple of changes to the room. So where a dining room was going to be, they've moved the living room there. So it looks like they've shortened the back, starting with extension, reduced the size of the storeroom at the front and removed the porch.
I just thought that's what the laptop kept moving.
You kind of have to see this, but otherwise it's fairly inconsequential.
Don't see it well. Any problems with that at all? No, none at all. Okay, thank you very much. That's the last of the planning applications. We're done. Okay, planning decisions on page 15. Let's go through. Wait a minute. We're okay. Endorsing town councils, yep, I think we did. No, so I think we'll say that they followed our example rather than we followed theirs example, shall we? Right. Any comments at all on any of that? Nope. Okay, enforcement notifications. That's on page, oh, wait a minute, where am I? Wait a minute, I'm missing that, am I?
Top of page 2, number 7.
Number 7. Let's go on. Number 7.
It's go on page 2. Page 2. Go to page 2.
Yeah.
And right at the top of number 7.
Oh, right. Right, number 7, telecommunication notification, and this is just for us to, does not require consultation from us, but this is the one that I think we objected to at the time, didn't we, on this?
Yes, so often what happens with telecommunications is prior to them submitting the application, they will consult prior to that as well, and it was that the comments had been in. Now the full application's in. It's not requiring any consultation on that from Wokingham. So
The full application went in on the 11th of January 21 for that. So they've used up their 5 years and not done anything about it. That car park where the plan is to build it is actually owned by Punch Taverns,
Yes.
so it's part of the pub.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who object 100% against any grabbing of their
The property.
property.
Well, that must carry quite a bit of weight.
Yeah.
No, they've got a mind of their own. But
You wrote to them. didn't
Yeah,
you?
so I sent a letter on behalf of the committee after consulting with members on that at the time. I did receive a response to that, which I have circulated to members, but only this evening actually with that response. Basically, it just acknowledges the letter that was received, acknowledges the position of the council and explains the rationale for the decision. And that's it, really.
But quite honestly, as far as I'm aware, they're using the pole that's down on the industrial estate in Headley Road East. Quite honestly, an industrial site is a far better location for a monstrosity like that. You don't put it at the entrance to
a shopping
a
centre.
precinct.
Yeah.
Particularly when you consider the pub uses that car park as a car park, but they also have their own functions there, which quite often run in line with the functions we as the town council operate. We've got the centre stage, which is right underneath it, where the children and vulnerable people congregate, meet and have exhibitions. No, it is the wrong place. Full stop.
Just if it is that monopole in the estate, just for members' reference, there was an application several years ago to remove that to Vauxhall Park
Yes.
at the time,
Yes.
which again, because telecommunications have the right to choose any land for their poles and make the application, this committee objected to at the time, and Wokingham actually refused the appeal, the application. It did go to an appeal, and that was upheld, dismissed. Dismissed is the right term.
Yeah.
So there was an attempt to move that before.
I appreciate at that time, but my argument now would be they got planning permission 5 years ago, they've let it lapse. If it wasn't been necessary in the last 5 years, why put in another application?
Right.
So
It's necessary. It's necessary now because the one at Headley Road East West, actually it's just off Loddon Bridge Road, almost opposite the doctors. That's got to go from that site. The reasons I do not know. So we're actually going to lose a transmitter in Woodley, and so the next nearest one will be a repeater on the railway line. So that's why they've got to now replace it, because they've got to take the one off that Headley estate.
Yeah. Right. Anyway.
if it was only going to be 9-10 metres high, fine, I could probably live with that. But this thing is going to be 20 metres in height.
Yeah, it's a main station, David. So it will give out a big old signal, and it will also be for the is it EE and 3? I think that one. So it'll cover a big area.
But I appreciate technology's moved on, and radio waves now are a lot safer than they used to be. But when you think we've got vulnerable people and children using space within 20 feet?
Yeah, but it's the aesthetic as well.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's right. I was just giving the background information as to why they've probably come back with this planning application 5 years later, because they now have to do something as opposed to want to do something. I think the location's completely wrong. You know, maybe if they stuck it in Hicks's yard or something, might be more acceptable. But where it is, I think it'd be an eyesore, as well as a supposed not necessarily the best the best thing for the person to have that there.
Yeah. Right. Well, we've made our feelings known. That's up to speaking to them.
Can I request, and I hope people will agree with me, but can I request that we actually write to Wokingham Planning and tell them of our concerns about it?
There is, with any planning application, there is the right to submit a comment on the website to them. The fact that it doesn't require consultation simply means that they have no duty to take it into account.
Right.
Does not stop this committee making a comment on any application. So that would be absolutely fine.
And we
It
can
could be
include the
repeated.
letter that was sent to M Group initially, yeah.
But certainly I would feel a lot
Yeah.
happier.
Yeah.
We can definitely basically resend the letter. to
I mean, Carol, you're on the planning committee at WPC. What are your thoughts on it?
I agree with you. I think we should make the comments. There's obviously concerns. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Right, tree preservation orders, as you can see, there's one for 68 Western Avenue. If you've all had a chance to have a look at that, that does not require any consultation. And item 9, goods vehicle operations licence. This is for Unit 5, Headley Park 10, for authorisation of 3 vehicles. Don't know what the size of the vehicles are, do we? But again, we could make comments on this if we felt that there was any reason.
We have no right, because
We don't.
it's dealt with by the, if I remember rightly, it's the Traffic Commission that deals with it, and you only have a right to make any comment if you own land within the vicinity, and the use of your land will be impacted by it. But because the council doesn't own any land anywhere nearby, it has no right to comment.
Yeah, but if you remember when the initial planning came forward, Bill, I made comment that there were 21 car parking spaces there for articulated lorries. So that gives an idea of what the size of the vehicles are going to be.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, but that one isn't near the residential properties, is it? Headley 10?
No, the Unit 10 is the
Unit 10.
industrial unit.
Yeah, but you know, like where we looked at the Adwest side.
Well, it's, you've got the Gemini estate right behind, and you've got the Miller Place and or Baker's Place rather, and Miller Grove on the other side.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, right. Enforcement issues on page 16. 108 Reading Road, windows in Dorman not in accordance with the approved plans. And 57 Arundel Road, large outbuilding erected in rear garden without planning permission. We'll see what happens to those. And enforcement closures, as you can see on the list there. And the interesting one there is the Crockenwell Road, 131, where I don't know who it was said that building work was already taking place, and obviously it is. So, or demolition work or some work inside. Yes, Carol.
Yes, I'm concerned about the first 3, which are all about walls or piers being over 1 metre in height. And that building is because it's adjacent to a highway, difficult to see, blind spot, etc. And then all we get is not expedient, which to me is a poor excuse for something that's actually a danger, you know, in terms of highway safety. So why bother? Why have these sort of rules if it's not going to be expedient to actually do something about it? So I'm concerned about those. I don't know how much higher over a metre they are, but I don't know whether we could ask for that information, but it does concern me.
I can definitely ask for more details as to why they seem that would be not expedient. Maybe because they feel that if an application came in, it would be absolutely accepted, but it'd be helpful to find out. I can ask for more information.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other points on there we need to? No? Okay. Again. And transportation and highways. Update on Speed Watch, which I don't think there's anything to report, is there at the moment on that?
I've had no information from Councillor Taylor.
Okay. And highways issues, highlight and discuss any highways issues noted by members. Anything at all? I will just mention that I've received a letter from Councillor Greg Bellow asking that this committee considers a proposal that he is putting to Woking and Borough and Reading buses, or a transportation highway transportation company that is going to be responsible for our buses, to run a bus service from the centre of Woodley, Headley Road end, to Twyford Station, going through Mohawk Way, was it, I believe? And out to Loddon Park, and then onto Twyford Station. And this is for the contracts for bus services that will take place in 2027. So he would like us to perhaps have any comments, and this will come up. We'll put it as an agenda item for our next meeting, and we can perhaps discuss it in detail, having given everybody the opportunity to think along what our views are as to whether we think it's the right way, the right route, or any other suggestions that we might have regarding that bus service. I think, certainly, in my view, there's certainly a need for a bus service, considering the awful car parking in Twyford Station, and it would certainly solve the problem. But whether or not, what route we take to do that.
Car parking is difficult in Twyford, no doubt about it. But if we run a bus service from Woodley to Twyford Station, the main time it's going to be used is probably between the hours of 6 and 7:30 in the morning, and maybe 6 to 7 o'clock in the evening. It's going to be people going into London or Maidenhead or Slough on the train, and then when they're coming back from work, that is the time that it will be needed. If you put a service in to run all day, I'm not sure that there's the people around to actually make it profitable.
No, maybe, I can see that, but then perhaps you can apply the service that's needed, or the timetable that's needed. I don't know.
There is the 127.
You've got the 127
But,
or the
and they've
128.
added on, they come down to the Just Towers roundabout now. So they're, I think, probably by popular demand, they're listening. So, and then they go into Twyford, don't they? They go to Waitrose, and then they go off to go down the A4, don't they?
Yeah.
So
The
if,
128.
but then they're once 1 hour.
Yeah.
It's the timing, isn't it? It would be the problem.
I mean, the 128 actually stops in Reading Road and then goes up down Western Avenue and across into Sonning, and then up round into Twyford. I mean, they're good services, but it's every hour.
That's the thing.
But if people are rushing to get a train, they're not want to miss their boiled egg to catch the bus in 5 minutes.
I think this is the thing he wants us to think about and then present at our next meeting. I mean, obviously, there would be, perhaps if the service isn't profitable, there would have to be a contribution from the borough. And that's got to be considered. So, we do need to give it some thought and come up with some alternatives or positive response.
In many respects, I still think a bus service between Woodley and Wokingham would be more cost effective than necessary.
Well, I mean, it's going to be a review of the whole bus service as a whole, so we could look at, all those options at the next meeting. Where we could see that, we want a service from Woodley to Wokingham. I think the only service is if you go down to the George and you get on one of the Lions, isn't it?
Yeah, but you've got to get off the number 14 or the 13.
That's right.
And then walk down under the bridge
to get that bus.
bus.
So can you, we all give it some thought as to what we think might be, whether this proposal is good, whether there are alternatives, and what we can support or not support. Let him have them. Okay?
Yeah.
That'll be an agenda item for,
We can circulate that information in advance of the agenda going up.
yeah.
For the-
Do you want to take a copy of the letter? If I give you sorry? Oh, yes, Linda.
There's congestion on those roads because there's a lot of parking on those roads and it's not actually wide enough for a bus as well. So you've got to get loads of congestion on
I thought they were actually putting yellow lines along those roads. I thought they were actually restricting the parking along there now. Because there was a piece in the local paper, wasn't there?
it. It's residents parking.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. But I can tell you about Crockenwell Road. Not Crockenwell Road, Coleman'swell Road and residents parking, trying to get the buses down there.
I'm
And
sure
the same,
you can.
the same problem, but
The people in Vauxhall Drive have the same problem as well.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know. But anyway, these are the considerations we need to think about. But with the poor parking in Twyford Station and the demand now on Twyford Station, it's something that needs to be
It's
thought about.
horrendous. I've been there to pick them up.
Yeah.
He was supposed to go there tonight and I said, no, go to Winners Triangle. I couldn't
Yeah.
face it. It's
No,
awful.
it's awful. I picked my
It really
son-in-law
is.
up
It
there,
is.
and it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
I'll give you that anyway if you want to.
Yes,
That's his letter. and
absolutely.
We'll discuss it fully at the next meeting. Okay, any other highways issues? Anybody has? Community issues, to highlight and discuss any recent community issues noted by members. One thing that I'm going to ask, I'm going to RE3's recycling centre tomorrow. I booked 2 slots, and I don't know. I went through, well, we had a quick look through what the restrictions are now and the costs involved in actually taking rubbish to there. I don't remember seeing any sort of consultation or any. Where did this decision to charge? I mean, let me say, the one thing that I'm taking some old offcuts of timber. If you read it, you have up to 100 litres of timber. My maths is never good, but how do you calculate 100 litres of timber? You, Carol?
I was behind a car with a trailer full of wood on Sunday, and the guy, how they measure is the guy comes out, sucks through his teeth and looks at it, then takes a price to the driver. The driver says on your bike, so he goes back and he looks at it again, he goes back with another price, and it ended up with the guy in the kiosk saying, there's a BMW coming through with a trailer, don't let him unload, he hasn't paid, he's just turning round. So I think it's a real issue because there's no set rule, it's just a guess as to, I suspect they know that 1 6-foot length of timber equals something or other. They have a weighbridge there, so why they can't use that, I don't know, but.
I think they
it's
do the
cool.
same. They do the same.
I mean,
with
these
rubber.
additional costs, when you look, they won't take paving slabs, they won't take fence panels, they won't take fence posts. And this is encouraging fly tipping.
Yeah.
Where did the decision?
The other thing, Bill, the other thing I think it's going to encourage is people are going to burn it in their garden rather than having to pay to get rid of a fence post. And that wood is treated with chemicals, which is then released into the atmosphere.
Yep.
Now, I know it gets burnt from the tip. However, it is burnt in a controlled way with filters on their chimneys. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, where I am here, I burn the fence post here because it's where I am, but I can actually take it to the tip for nothing if I so wish. So I think that should be really expressed to them, our dissatisfaction.
Yes, and it's very hard for a householder to be able to calculate what he's going to have to pay for and what he's not going to have to pay for before he gets there. How do you measure wood in litres? I know my maths isn't good, but I don't know how you do it, do you?
No, I haven't the foggiest idea.
Right.
Can you not
It's
do
it's 10 cubic centimetres. It's 10 cubic centimetres. So if you've got 100 millimetre square fence post, then if it's a metre long, will be 1 litre. So a 2 metre 100 millimetre square fence post is 2 litres.
Right.
I mean, you know, who's going to do the maths for that? It's crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
Chop it
So,
up into small
I mean,
pieces.
But my concern is the fly tipping.
Yeah, I mean, I've got visions of all these water jugs being used to measure.
Yeah. Anyway, that was my concern. I don't know what we could do, whether the representative, I mean, this is three boroughs that have, three boroughs that have come up with this plan, isn't it? Carol?
Joan, I can look into it and see what the measuring guidelines or otherwise are, and I'll report back to the next meeting if that helps.
Yeah, if you would. But also when the decision was made.
Well, it's the RE3.
Yeah, but it must have been in consultation with the three boroughs. I mean,
all of the boroughs,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
I'll try and find that out as
Yeah.
well.
okay, thank you.
Also on community issues, one thing that I would bring up is Ronnie Goodbury has got together the petition for residents to sign for the proposed banking.
Banking hub, yeah.
We ought to have it. We've only got NatWest, not NatWest, Nationwide that will be left. And remember, Nationwide is not a bank, it's a mutual society. And that will also be the only cash point for people to get cash out of in Woodley. How quickly is the money going to go out of one cash point, particularly over a bank holiday weekend? But all right, if you look on Facebook at the comments, they're saying move your account to Nationwide. It's all very easy to say that. It might be appropriate for some people, but it's certainly not appropriate for a lot of people. And those people, many of them are vulnerable. They've been with their banks for years. They know the bank, or they did know the individuals in the bank. They want to go and do their banking transactions at a time that pleases them. They don't want to have to go wait for the bus and get in the bus and go into Reading. You can't do everything in the post office. No. Nationwide haven't got the facilities to look after all the other banking customers. They have enough trouble looking after their own. You know, there are things you need to say to the bank face to face. Yeah. Such as registering the death, maybe problems with your credit card. Now, you think how many vulnerable people there are in Woodley alone who haven't got access to the internet. They don't know what number to phone up if their credit card goes missing or they've lost it. They've literally got to go into the bank and speak to someone face to face.
But wasn't there a consultation on this already done and they decided no?
Well, no, as far as I understand it, Brian made application and it came back on the argument that there's already a bank. There is until the 26th of June. After the 26th of June, there won't be.
I sent a letter as well on behalf of the council after consultation with the mayor and the leader to that effect as well, just to put that pointed across. Didn't receive a response directly, but I know Brian did receive responses as David has just.
But this is my point, and it's actually Ronnie Goodbury's point. This isn't a political thing. It's something our residents need. It crosses all political domains, and all of us, every single councillor, should be talking to residents and encouraging them to sign that, because every individual signature that is added to that increases our chances of success quite dramatically.
Yes.
Nationwide's about to become a hub for the Halifax as well.
Right. Yeah. When you make these representations, who do you actually make the representations to? Who do you write?
The link, isn't it?
Link is the organisation.
Right. The people who run all the catch points.
Catch points, right. Okay. Yes, Carol.
Is it possible to have that petition available at our stand on Saturday?
It is on Ronnie Goodborough's stand. He's
fine.
actually got his own stand there
Okay.
with the petition. in
I thought I
force.
saw that, but I wasn't
I
sure.
will speak to him before then and try and get some copies of the petition so that we can have it on our stand.
Well, I don't know whether we should or allowed to, though, because it's,
Well, at the moment, this council hasn't made any formal
No.
opinion on it.
Yeah.
So the petition's being run by a resident, obviously by Ronnie. So at the moment, that's separate. Just to let you know that the Ronnie's due, I believe, to be immediately next to us. So there won't be any need to have anything at
I don't
our
think we should
stand
have
with it.
this then, yeah.
That's where Ronnie, because Ronnie needed somewhere to be. So he'll be positioned there. So it'll be a good place for people who are interested in it to come and get information and sign up to the petition if they're around for the Easter event. So yes.
But he would also like each of us to actually publicise it and get behind it because it is important. It's important to everyone.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Anything else on community? Nope. Okay. Publication information, note receipt of the Promise Inclusion February 2026 newsletter and Berkshire Association of Local Councils March 2026 newsletter. Future agenda items.
Can I just add one thing? Promise Inclusion is my chosen charity, as everyone knows. They've still got some tickets available. They've got an edition of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf at Wokingham Theatre on the 29th of April. The tickets are £16 each and just phone Promise Inclusion and they will book the tickets for you. It should be a good evening, but if anyone is interested.
Okay. Thank you. Right, future agenda items. We've already got the one on the bus service. Anything else? Nope. Nope. Okay, and publicity and website. Any suggestions for items to be included? Nope. Okay. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for attending.